All right, we're coming up here to the 12 area. Rose, by the way, um, there is the dummies definition of the deck as bounce for you. Rose, by the way, I was going to say that I'm going to be gone next week. So when I get back, we will figure out a schedule so we can get back on track here. But Don will be here, so you can ask him any question that you might have. Very capable of any answer. Oh, he's very good. All right, we continue to still stay up here a little bit. I mean, the problem with these bounces, whether they are dead cat or not, is the fact that they're a lot. I mean, you're not finding these bounces here as we come up here to the 12 area. Small, like the other day when the Fed came out with their stuff, they rallied at 100 S&P points, and even from the lows, even more than that. So these bounces are definitely more than, there may be a lion bounce. I don't know. Maybe later. Let's not go there. Anyway, we're nice rotation here against our 12 area.
I always considered them short squeezes.
Some of them are, absolutely. But again, the volatility in the market is such that it's a totally different ball game than what it used to be, because you had rallies. Well, just because you look at the Dow has, you're looking at, when you get 300 or 400 point moves in the Dow, that's not normal. But those are kind of bounces you're getting. Now, how does somebody stay short or long, depending on your position, through movements against you like that? I mean, institutions maybe, because they're saying, okay, I'm short at the 4,200 level, and I'm going to cover them at 3,500, and my stop is going to be at 4,700. Okay, maybe if you have 500 point, not even point, but yeah, that would be points, right? That would might work. Okay, nice rotation here against our 12 area. Got in again. You're scaling in. Got in there about 11 and a half maybe, and obviously didn't get up to 12, but right underneath it. Nice rotation. Let me give you some levels here above, in case the market does have a better bounce than usual. We got the 12, and then 22 is next. And then above that, 32, 44, 54, and 63.
Before you go, you got a bunch of numbers to the downside.
Oh, you're going to make me look those up for you? I'll send you a text.
Okay.
Your phone does answer?
Yeah, I do get text.
Okay. So I want to make sure. I haven't sent you a text before, so, with your phone, it's always a treat. I always have to ask. For those of you who don't know, Don has one of those flip phones still. But the newer flip phones, they're adaptable to something. I don't know what, but they're adaptable.
I don't know what.
All right, nice rotation there against the 12 area. This is a nice big rotation where this is a chance that you can take more than 5 or 6 points on your trade if you have a trailing stop. Yeah, just 1 second here. All right. Again, depending on how you manage those trades, everybody manages them differently if you're trading multiple contracts or not. But this was a good opportunity there to take a little bit more than what we are trying to achieve on every trade. And there are the additional levels that we have.
Since you mentioned going to Pebble Beach, that's all I've heard from just a bunch of different people. I'm going,
How'd that happen?
I have no idea. You started a deal.
It was totally by accident.
I know the other night when they were talking about going to Pebble Beach. Oh man, Pebble Beach, Pebble Beach. I'm going, I'm just listening to all this.
And you're like, what are these crazy people doing?
Hey, I've done stranger things.
Yeah, I mean, and so the weather there is it's been like sunny, high 70s, no, high 60s, low 70s for a high.
Yeah.
Off the ocean, right, literally on the ocean. So it's going to be a little nippy there with the wind coming off. It's not going to be like, I don't think like sweaty weather that you're going to sweat up too much. But
Oh no, you don't sweat. You just stay cool.
right. And the good thing is that you're walking. So, I think that's like perfect temperature to walk in. You're not going to get overheated or anything like that. So, kind of looking forward to that. As we continue to downtick here, nice little rotation there against the 12 area. Coming down here to our blue band. See what it wants to do here. If not, just keep your stops in place no matter how you trade.
That was a good move. I missed that one too.
Well, no, sorry. Yeah, some days it's just, you're just not going to be able to catch everyone. That's all.
Well, I extended it up to 13. I'm extending when I shouldn't be extending. It's my problem.
Right, that happens. I'll be the first to say that I've done that also. You just think you're a little smarter than the market. That's all. Don't we all?
Yeah.
Every now and then.
Evidently, today it's not working too well.
No, it's telling you who's boss.
That's it. What was it? I read something one time says, no matter how good or smart you are, the market will humble you. I said, isn't that the truth?
That's true. That's so true. That is a given, by the way.
What kills me is I got a 90 target down there, and we get to that blue band, and it just stops. It could go to 90, then bounce off.
Oh, you're getting there. It's trying to get there for you. Yeah, no, we're going with a group of guys. There's like 4 of us that are going, and we have a foursome every day. So it should be a treat. It should be fun.
Y'all gonna play golf every day?
That's the objective. That is what we plan on doing. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Golf during the day and dinner at night. How bad could that be?
Hey,
Could
eat,
be
drink,
worse.
and be merry.
It could be a lot worse, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you got to like the game a little bit to do all this.
You need to get you a little bucket of sand and bring back
No.
And put in the basement with you.
No. We stay out of the sand, Don. It's not a good. No, you stay out of the sand. Stay out of the beach and the sand, Don. That's what you don't want to be on the beach for sure. For sure, you're on the beach. You got big problems.
When people say, "Well, you're trading at the beach," says, "No, I got a bucket of sand from Pebble Beach." Does that count?
No, they're talking about the wrong beach there. They definitely don't want to be on the beach. If I'm on the beach, we got big trouble.
Somebody says, "Why don't you wear a bathing suit?" I said, "Well, last time I wore one, I like to got harpooned, so I quit wearing them."
Will do, Tim. All right. We did go to the 90 area, so we got a nice rotation off of that for you. Yeah, the blue band didn't stop this time.
Well, I'm impressed.
Well, I mean, how do you even see it on your charts? You don't need, we seen your charts. They don't work like mine.
Oh yeah, I got the blue band. I know where it's at.
Okay. Just wondering. All right, rotate. Well, we thought we were going to go to our upper level. Every time I give levels on the upside or downside, the market rotates.
It changes.
Isn't that amazing?
I love
mean,
it.
It's just unbelievable. I mean, it's amazing.
You're almost as good as Trump tweets.
No, I mean, seriously, there's not even how many times has that happened?
A bunch.
Where, as soon as I think the market's going one way, I give you some levels, and all of a sudden, it just completely. I put the stop sign up.
Let's put it this way: it's happened enough where it's tradable.
Yes, yes. It could be a good setup for you. Oh God, that's funny. Funny and not funny. I don't know. It's happened way too many times. Not even one too many times.
But I'm real impressed with this market. It's even though it's selling off, it's orderly.
It is compared to what we've seen. Yes, I think there are some people at things are pretty cheap still now, getting cheaper. I think people are kind of nimbling, jumping in and buying some stuff. I mean, what can have. I don't know where it's going or where it's not going, but I think things are getting a little cheaper. And so maybe people are jumping in a little bit.
Have the mutual funds started unloading some of their stuff at this levels?
I'm sure they have been, yeah. Sure. I think they've done that from the beginning. I think these dead cat bounces that we're talking about, I think that's when they jump in.
Yeah.
They wait for a little rally. Before you used to have you wait for a break and then you used to buy it. Every time you buy a dip, right? That was like, if you did that for the last so many years, you did great. Every time the market broke, you jumped in and bought some. Everybody did great. And now I think it's the opposite. Now they're waiting for the market to rally, and then they're jumping in because, well, we're definitely in a bear market situation. One, and until that changes, I think they're going to be doing that kind of scenario trade where we're waiting for a rally to jump in and get short. Seems like that's what they're doing here. All right, well, we coming back down here. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Downside support level is all the way down at 64 area, so we don't have anything till there. Maybe a little at 74 if you guys are, pivot players, maybe. All right, again, we're kind of turning off. There was a number at 9 o'clock that maybe created this push. Well, they were on their highs at 9, so again, it kind of goes to that idea that they kind of waited for a little rally and then got jumping in there.
Question for you. If I share my charts, I know you'll be able to see them, but if I quit sharing them, does it go back to your charts or you got to restart your charts?
Yeah, no. Well, it depends if my charts are up, and depends if obviously I'm not going to be here. Well, Brad might be able to control them. Like I'm going to turn them down on tonight after the market closes because I usually turn them off on for the weekend.
Yeah.
So Brad comes in there, he can charge them up, and then. But if you you mean if you want once you're done, you just want to turn your computer off and go?
Well, no, I can just log out of the room and yours stay up.
If my charts are up.
Yeah. But I was just wondering if I shared my screen for any reason, and I quit sharing, does it go back to your?
No,
okay.
It'll just be a blank screen.
Well,
I don't know what happens.
Then.
Yeah.
You'd have to bring them up on your side. Yeah.
We'll just go up to Brad's computer and see whatever.
Yeah.
Stuff's on there until we can be watching. Just not even listening.
Imagine that.
Yeah, he's just like, is he sleeping? Must be sleeping. Unless he's frozen.
I expected it to be a little bit milder today since this is expiration day.
That's overblown. The expiration stuff. I mean, to me, they say that it's going to have any volatility that's going to occur is going to probably occur late, like in the last half hour to an hour.
Yeah,
but it's overblown. I mean, it's there. It does happen. I'm not going to say it doesn't happen, but I don't think it's. As far as our concern, the morning trade is okay. The morning trade will do its usual thing, and then late in the afternoon you get that closing out of positions, and then it gets a little bit trickier, but not. I would just kind of hang in here. Again, I totally took whatever rally we had. I sucked out all the volatility when I gave you more levels to the upside. So the Bitcoin thing, I don't even understand why that's not doing better than it should be doing. I don't even know. I mean, I have no idea why it was going up. I have no idea why it's going down. As far as who's buying it, who's not. I know that some people are had to sell for various reasons. I mean, I think it was going down so much that they got themselves caught, and it created a continuation push to the downside there in that market.
I've got a friend, his relative son was buying that stuff when it was like $2 and $3.
Is he retired?
he became a multimillionaire overnight when it started up. I don't know if he ever sold it.
Yeah. Well, you know,
He
it's
kept
amazing.
telling everybody, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. I'm going,
You're like, what's that?
yeah, but it didn't take him about 4 or 5 years to get to start his
Yeah,
move.
no, I know. But if you were in that space, you probably were excited about it.
Yeah.
Yes. But I didn't. I mean, by the time I found we found out about it, it was like a 4 or 5 thousand. Then it went up to 16. Then it kind of hung there for a bit, went back down, and then exploded. So I don't know. Who knows? Let it be what it be.
It's kind of like your friend's son that
Right,
got
right.
it locked up and can't
Yeah.
get to it.
And my friend's son, my friend was like, "Oh, so happy! Oh, my son is doing something. He's making a little bit of money. It's like $100." He goes, "This is great. He's loving this." And then all of a sudden, it goes explodes, and he can't get into this computer to get the codes out of it. It's like, what? I think that's more heartbreaking than not, than not knowing that you have those opportunities. I mean, how do you get over that? You have like $500,000 in Bitcoin, and you can't get into your computer and get the codes. It's crazy. Yeah, we're continuing to downtick here. Again, if you're a pivot player, maybe you're dipping your toe around 64. Otherwise, 74. Otherwise, you're looking at the 64 areas or next support level. All right, our pivot players there, getting a nice little rotation there against the 74 area. Again, we suggested maybe that would be a little bit of an opportunity there with a little support area for the pivot players, and paid off again. Well, we continue to slowly down tick. The next support level I was down at 74, 64. Sorry, we already did the 74 thing. All right, market continues to down tick, looking at the 64 area here. Oh, look at the bond market. Oh, welcome. Welcome to the rotation here. Look at what's going on there in the bond market. And there you have the reason we're just completely, I mean, sometimes sometimes we follow it, sometimes we don't. Could be a reason. Obviously, yields are a big part of the discussion. Yeah, coming down here to the 64 area. Definitely a bond market rotation here. It's creating this volatility. Bonds continue to downtick. We're staying on our lows. Something like yesterday, we were not following. We were inverse trading. I mean, we were following in the morning and then inverse traded in the afternoon. So we can't always, but we can understand at least there's a reason for this move right now, being that bond market is definitely falling out of bed at a weird time. This is a weird time for the bond market to be hiccuping right now. So be a little bit mindful and careful at the same time. And bonds under lows. I mean, if you find a correlation, and you understand why it's happening. We don't have to understand why it's happening, but if there's a correlation for the time being, and like I said yesterday, that changed as the day went on. So for whatever reason, right now, bond market is definitely leading the way. So just be careful, watch what's going on there, and then trade it here accordingly until that relationship changes. So we got down here to 61 and change there. If you don't like the 64 and what it's doing, you have choices. I work in the 64 area here. right, just kind of hanging out here with the 64 area, trying to give us a little bit of rotation. Got a little bit of rotation here, so nice little trade there if you did jump in. I take a little bit of heat on that one, obviously, as the market kind of rotated here a little bit lower than that, but not too much. And held up pretty nicely for us. Again, if anybody has any questions of those levels that we gave out this morning or what we're basing our opportunities and trades on, obviously, if I give you levels to the downside now, I think I could stop the market from going down. I think. There they are for you. Those are levels that we use as a guide to the day. We can delete those, adjust them a little bit, tweak them. And you always got to be mindful of the price action and every opportunity there so that you are keeping your stops in place and managing those trades when they get to a level. Nothing here is etched in stone. Everybody trades a little bit differently, so some people are scaling in, some people are only trading one lot. So whatever the situation may be, you have to be comfortable with that situation for your whatever risk tolerance that you have, not the risk tolerance that I have or anybody else. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat as we're coming here to the end of our morning session. Again, we are taking advantage of ebbs and flows of the market using the levels. If you look at the chat, you'll see we did touch our upper levels there at well, all the way up to 12. You can see that's the high of the day, and those are around the levels we had. There's a nice rotation there off of that 12 area. I wish I could have told you that I knew it was going to go all the way back down here till 64, but I said no. It went down to 60, but actually 61 and change, but I did get down to 60. Got down to 59. So next support level I was down at 55. Market's still under a little bit of pressure here, even though the bonds have retracted a little bit from their sell-off.
Do you have any special instructions for next week?
Yeah, don't mess up.
Okay.
Right,
I'll
that's
do
it.
my best. No guarantees, but I'll
Yeah.
try.
I'm handing off the baton. You can handle it. Look, we are always at the mercy of markets. You know, that I understand, you know. So I wish I could tell you it's going to be nice and contained and slow and you'll have perfect opportunities, but every day is going to have its own uniqueness to it. Every day is different. That's why some of us like trading, because it's not like going to an office and sitting behind a desk and doing whatever you do every day. It is every day is unknown. And but we have a methodology and we are focused on it, and we kind of stay in that mode, and we, as long as we stay in that mode to give us our opportunities, that's all we can ask for. So yeah, I mean, I wish I could tell you it's going to be a perfect day for you. I can't, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I hope things slow down a little bit, be honest with you, because I mean, I just don't like this, the volatility every day here is a little bit too much. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you like this, so I just would like it if it just settles down just a little. All right, coming down here to the 55 area now. All right, kind of trailing continues to downtick here. Again, just who your stops in place. That's all we can say. All right, looking at the 44 area.
What was our low yesterday? 42.
Yeah. it gets into this sell mode, it doesn't matter, right? That's why we talked about keeping your stops in place, coming right down here to a 44 now. And giving us a nice little pop back up here. And there's always that order that jumps in there and screws us up. All right, there we go. So working this 44 area now. All right, nice little rotation here off of the 44. Again, we told you to get out of your, if you got in there at 55, you get out and then look for the next opportunity. That way you stay focused and always are looking for the next opportunity to trade instead of just focusing on one trade and working that bad trade. Just get out and look for the next trade. Let's push here off of the 44. Let me give you some, might as well give you some levels below, right?
Yep.
Hang on a second.
It's below the 23.
Yeah, below the 23. We've got 13, 05, 35.96. That should put an end to this break.
One would hope. Let's see if we can. I had 24. You got 23, didn't you?
Yeah. I also had 44 and you put in 42.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's okay.
Let me correct that. Yeah, if you see something I messed up on, let me know. Because I wrote 44 down, but somewhere between my paper and the computer, it got messed up again.
Well, you had 42 in your head because you told me that was the low.
Yeah.
I think that was your number.
No, I got 44 down written on my pad, on my log there.
Yeah, I didn't realize it till we got there and I looked at your numbers. I was looking at my sheet, that's why. Yeah, I was looking at my sheet and I didn't look at what you typed in. So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Well, I think what you need to do is every morning before you get kicked off good is to log in and give us an update on the golfing.
Well, it's pretty early for me to get up there. I mean, remember, I'm 2 hours later.
Yeah. We'll be quitting just as you're getting up.
It's true.
I'm gonna call Mark and tell him to call you and wake you up early.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he does get up early. He's up like 5:30 or 6 o'clock when he used to get up. I still haven't called. Every day I say I got to call him and I don't call him. Terrible. I definitely will call him though.
Yeah, he has to get up like at 4:30 in the morning to get up for our open.
Something like that. All right, so we did go down to 44, as you can see. What the trades that we've had this morning? Well, we've had support and resistance areas. If you look at the chat, you see those areas up there. Obviously, support areas, we're trying to buy those areas. So resistance areas, we're selling those areas. We went through a slew of resistance areas on the upside there, and 12 there, as you can see, is the high of the day, and we had our 12 as one of our levels, and you can see on the bottom side there, so 44 is a support level that we had, and that's the low of the day. I wish I could have told you that those two numbers were going to be high and low of the day, and then we could have just gone, be done for the month. But it's not the case, and we had opportunities to scalp those levels. We're in and out of trades. We're scalping for about 5 or 6 points on our opportunities here, depending on the situation. You can take a little bit more out of them or not. But we're scalping the market based on the opportunities, those levels that you see in the chat box, as well as any price action opportunities that occur once the market paints some bars. The volatility these days, it's tough to trade those price action opportunities because they kind of have been running right through a lot of things, but they're there. And so we've been kind of busy. A fluid type of a day where we've had a lot of stuff going on, and markets giving us those opportunities both on the upside and the downside. We do this on an everyday basis. So basically, we're trying to scalp the market, pick our spots, look for opportunities that we feel the market will give us those opportunities to, those markets will bounce off of. And we just kind of keep our risk at a moderate levels, low level. It's also based on volatility. Obviously, when the volatility is where it's at, we're 5 or 6 points, or we could go higher, or we can go lower. depending on if things settle down or not. But that's where we're at. That's what we do today. And we're trading mini S&Ps here, equity futures. We like to average about 4 to 5 trades a day. Obviously, these days we are averaging a lot more than that.
I guess nobody wants to be long going into this holiday weekend.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. Hi there, Rosemary. Can we repeat the levels again in the chat for her?
Sure.
There we go.
Updated and corrected. You're going to have to tell Mark he's going to have to get back. I'm making way too many mistakes.
How do we define these levels? Well, there are areas that we feel that the market will have an inflection. These areas that the market will rotate off of. There are some previous support and resistance areas that we feel that we think the market might hold. There was some probably some areas that the market created some interest in previous to that. And obviously, it's all technical analysis, so that's what we are kind of looking at. The technical analysis, the work that we do, is based on a technical analysis. So that's where we find these levels and find any price action opportunities that might occur. Oh, no, we're trading the futures market, so we're not trading cash. The cash market, two different contracts. Obviously, I understand in Europe, in the UK, it's a little bit different. Be able to trade contracts instead of the cash. I mean, that's the way to go. Cash will just, there's too much upfront money that's going to be needed.
What is the margin on a cash account? Do you know now?
No, I don't know.
It used to be around 25 grand.
Yeah, it's much more expensive to trade that. So it varies. It varies with your account size, and it also varies with your relationship with your broker. You know, your broker has to come up with a margin for each trader that he's trading or covering, and they vary. So they don't have to come up as much as the broker has to. You have to ask, or as the broker asks you to come up with. So There's definitely, it varies, and it all depends on the relationship you have with your broker.
Well, it looks like the 44 and the 42 worked.
Yeah. Yes. Well, it did make sense. That was my cup, by the way, just in case.
Well, I don't know why I put it down. I really don't. I wrote for it.
Well, I
I
think it
write them
was
down in my log, then I copy them to the computer. So
right. Yeah, I don't know. I think, like I said, I think it was you kind of knew the 42 was yesterday's low, and so I think you went with that. I think in the back of your head, you kind of had that in mind the whole time.
yesterday we had that 58 down there. We ran down to 60 area, then it turned around and run all the way up. Then after 1 o'clock, it came down and tagged at 58.
Hmm. Yeah, it does. It's hard to sometimes explain why it's doing what it's doing. We just don't try to figure out direction. We're just trading the market as it presents itself every opportunity. Like I said, I wish I could have told you we sold the high and kind of bought the low, at least interim low and interim high, and then we could have gone home all day. But nope, we're just trading the opportunities when they present themselves.
You want to see it go up? Let me take a short position. We're coming 10 o'clock. The people in Europe are going to have to make up their mind what they're going to do for the weekend.
Right, they close in about a half an hour.
Does that move start at 10 or 10:30?
Well, 10:30 they close, so sometimes they wait till after the close, and then they make their own move. Just the way it is. So you can see here now, bonds, we were following them on this initial break, and now the bonds of doing their flight to quality thing now.
How low are the bonds from their highs? Are they down 20%?
Well, I mean, you look at the yield, right? The yield on the 10-year or even the 30-year, the yield is almost doubled. Okay. So you're not looking at it so much as 20 or 30% there, because you're looking at, the prices the price determines the yield. So it's not the same as the stock market, where you can say there's a 20% bearish situation here, because the 20% on when you were trading at a 1.5% yield, that would have got you to 170, almost 170, almost whatever it was. It's way beyond that right now.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I'm just looking at that's an hourly chart or
yeah,
5 minute on my
5 minute.
bonds.
So 5 minute. We can look at an early chart. Let's see an hourly chart. Let's look at an hourly. Oh God, that's scary. tighten this up. There's an hourly chart.
Kind of looks like the S&P.
Yeah, that's scary. Let's look at it. Let's look at a daily chart. Whoa, there's one direction there. Kind of hung there for the 42 for a month. From 39 to 42, traded there, created some value, and then here we started breaking. Once we got below this little spike low, that kind of continued. It's kind of hanging right around this spike low here. Yeah, I mean, this has been, so you can see it was up at 148, 149 here, and you're already down to the 130s. All right. So we are down here on the lows. We have extra levels that we gave you. We're going to repeat those again, and be a little bit careful here. Right now, we got resistance around the 70 to 75 area. I think we get above 80, or yeah, the 74 is our pivot. So if we get above 80 there, we probably rotate a little bit higher. You know, it's you can see it's volatility here is still there. We had our levels that we've gone through a lot of them today. We've had multiple opportunities to trade. We like to average 4 to 5 trades a day. We've easily at least doubled that as much. So all right. All right, Don, you have a good week next
You
week.
too. And enjoy your trip.
Thank you. And we will talk to everybody when we get back.
Take care.
Thanks.